Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Running in Circles podcast. In today's episode, we have joined two people joining us for the first time. Who two people who have been trying to convince a lot to come for an episode, but they've been quite busy. So we have Piyush joining us.
Hello, Pallav. Sorry to be so late, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah,
Hi
welcome.
Pallav.
And we also have Jaya.
Hi Pallav. Glad to be here.
Yes, and you know how we talked about taking this podcast to a new level. So for the first time, we have uh, three panel podcast, and we have Harsha also joining us.
Hi, Pallav. Happy to be here.
Yes, welcome, three of you. So so today I want to talk about fun topic that a lot of people enjoy. So I'm sure all of us are fans of fiction worlds and fandoms in some or the other way. So in today's episode, I wanted to talk about discuss about why do we follow fandoms and what fandoms do we follow. So starting off this episode, I'd like to ask why do you think fandoms or fiction worlds are so important, and how what impact does it have, Jayanth?
So yeah, according to me, fan bases are important because they help the artists to be better or grow better because they get inputs or feedbacks from the fans, which also inspires them to make better and good quality content for them. And also the fandoms help the artists reach more people as they find their friends and all who are have similar tastes or interests, so that they provide, what do you say, free marketing for the
Hmm.
artists or professionals.
Yeah.
So that way, fandom does help all the
Hmm.
artists and professionals.
Yeah, that was a interesting view. Piyush?
My view on fandoms is, well, we as fans would love to live the lives of these fantasy worlds and our professional athletes. Like, why would we cheer for a team when we are not even part of it, or we're not physically there, right? But there's
Correct.
still a feeling of togetherness with them, sharing the same interests among other people and the people involved in the particular activity. So that's what we get to live their lives through these fandoms.
What's your view on it, Harsha?
Fandoms are really subjective because not everyone gets along with a particular topic, right? Everyone has different perspectives, so it's highly subjective. But I feel, in a general sense, fandoms create a sense of community. It brings together people from all over the world, and everybody agrees on one particular thing. So I feel, in that sense, fandoms are really good for the society. But the most important aspect about fandoms is it helps people pace through life. For example, there are a lot of fandoms which people can relate to on a personal level, where it's helped them get through a phase of life. It's given them a new perspective about life. So fandoms in that sense create a lot of new perspectives and opportunities for people.
Yeah, I feel like it's absolutely spot on what you've said. So fandoms and fiction worlds are there to create a sense of belonging to a community, and it becomes like a common interest focal point. But to add on to that, while we all do enjoy real people based movies and artists, fiction world is something that's created, and it's not real. It's this whole fandom and fiction thing is based out of imagination and what
Exactly, the fantasies that we want to live.
Correct. So I mean, like, there is no Iron Man in real life, but it makes us all think that hey, what if there was genius billionaire philanthropist existing in our world? Wouldn't that be great? So I feel like, yeah, it's born out of imagination, and also about other fandoms. There are music fandoms, like directionals and K-pop to the two most popular ones.
Yeah,
But
Linkin Park, Imagine Dragons.
yeah, so it's that is born pure out of pure liking towards a particular taste in music. And another thing that you said about sports club, it's like you're not winning anything out of, you're not gaining anything out of watching a game, but it's just you experience a certain joy if your team is winning or losing. So I feel like this whole thing is fictional, but the sense of bonding that you feel towards that entity is what makes this fandoms and very important in our world. So moving on to the next part, what are some of the crazy fandoms that you really like and why do you like it? We could start off with movies.
So in movies, there are very big popular fandoms like Star Wars, Marvel,
DC universe.
the DC universe, the Wizarding World, including Harry Potter and the latest movies like the Fantastic Beasts movies. And it's just ever expanding because of the fandoms. If the fandoms did not exist, the artists would not be inspired enough, or they wouldn't
be motivated enough to come up with new stuff for people to experience further.
Exactly. The better the response from the fans, the more the content is created and the better the quality of the content.
Correct. Yeah.
So let's take Star Wars, for example, because Star Wars is at the moment booming.
Yeah, it's
So
booming.
Star Wars started like in the 1900s, like really long back with A New Hope. And
70s,
I mean, if you go back and watch The New Hope right now, it's gonna feel like a very old movie.
Yeah, but I
Like
feel like what started Star Wars is what George Lucas did with in the 1970s, to create a space-based movie with computer-generated imagery, which was not seen before ever in movies. I feel like
that is true. That was revolutionary for that time period.
Correct. So considering that those movies were that old, and also like even if you watch A New Hope now, it still feels like it's crazy what they've done in the 50 years back.
Exactly. And going through the years, like the original trilogy had a particular theme to it, and then came the prequel trilogy, which was like leaps ahead in CGI. There's a lot of CGI in the prequel trilogy, and my favorite trilogy is the prequel trilogy because it's the story of the birth of the Darth Vader.
Correct.
And it's got a more like good. It's got a good rounded off finish because it's trying to tell a backstory of a character that was already established. So it's more like revealing the mysteries.
Yeah, revealing like why Darth Vader is Darth Vader, what went into making Darth Vader.
Exactly. And it's a whole story from his childhood till the making of Darth Vader.
Correct.
So it's what changed him.
Also like certain themes that I find very fascinating in Star Wars is, firstly is the music. I feel like, A New Hope literally starts with Luke Skywalker watching Two Sons and the Force theme playing in the background, composed by John Williams. So that's what drove me to Star Wars, and that's one thing. The second thing is the sense of conflict that the prequel trilogy expressed in the mind of Anakin Skywalker. Like, is he bound to be a Jedi, but then why is the Jedi Order not recognize him? And so there's a sense of conflict, and like Anakin doesn't know where his place is in the sides of the Force. So I'm sure that we all experience that at some stage in our life.
Yeah, and lately, like after the bump that was the sequel trilogy, which most of us don't want to talk about, the work that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have done for The Mandalorian. Exactly. They're trying to revive the passion towards Star Wars. The Mandalorian, amazing. The follow-up to that Book of Boba Fett, amazing. Then he's also the mastermind behind the animated series, The Clone Wars. Those are also amazing because they don't just show normal like fights and lasers and lightsabers. There's some politics also in the Star Wars universe. There's a lot to learn from there as well, how to handle situations. So that's all. It's not just like Power Rangers or something.
Yeah, it's
Power Rangers is a whole other fandom. They'll definitely be furious, but it's like now that we watch Power Rangers, we just tend to laugh about it. So yeah, they've been reviving and making Star Wars universe much better. The production quality has become better, and they've become way more diverse because they're just taking parts of the story, not just in Star Wars, but in all the fandoms. They have just been taking parts of the story and they've been changing the source material a little bit and creating their own stories to make it more diverse and include more communities in the society. So yeah, it's overall very progressive nowadays.
Yeah. So a lot of Star Wars fans here, I'm sure. So moving on, what other fandoms? Jaya, what do you have?
When we could start about talking about Marvel, I guess. So for
very
me, like I'm
popular.
a huge fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. First, when I saw the Avengers 2012 movie which came out, when all the superheroes teamed up and the storyline of that, I felt it was really mind blowing, and I fell in love with Ant-Man then. So after I watched, so first was Avengers which I watched, then I started watching all the other movies starting with Ant-Man. So like I was fully into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I binge watched most of the movies, even though when I was in school. So it was really fun watching all those, and like it becomes like a part of our life, and how we keep waiting for the new movies to come up, and what is going to happen, all those cliffhangers in different movies. So it keeps us hooked into that.
Same. Even I first watched, I think, The Incredible Hulk was my first MCU movie, but I didn't even know that there was an MCU or that was part of it. And the next movie I had watched was Captain America, the first Avenger. And then randomly one day, like my friend just gave me a movie called The Avengers. I started watching it because I was bored and I didn't have anything to do, so I just started watching it. And then after watching The Avengers, I was so mind blown. I went and researched about it. And I got to know all the movies that came before it, and that there was a whole universe. And how all these superheroes converged into one movie. It was beautifully done.
Yeah. So I mean, my story is also sort of similar. So I'd seen Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron, but then I'd seen a few movies in between, like Ragnarok, for example. But when the Infinity War trailer came out, I'm like, wait, what? There's a Black Panther here? Wait, what? There's Guardians of the Galaxy here? Wait, Spider-Man's also in this movie? So I, those to just see so many characters on just a trailer together, I feel like, hey, I need to see all the movies, and I was all prepped up when Avengers Infinity War came out, and I'd seen everything. And now the number of movies and shows they are making each year, it's just too hard to ignore. So I feel like it's like a story folding each and every year, and there's no way we can there's no way, at least I can stop not watching it.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like how they are the different like single movies of each superhero, and it makes it like wait for them, where like how will they be introduced into this universe, and how they meet up, and what will be the storyline for all that. So that all was pretty interesting actually.
Correct.
I agree. Like, I'm a huge Marvel fan myself. Especially, I love Captain America. My love for Captain America is so big that my keychain for my bike is a Captain America shield. And in that sense, Captain America has taught me a lot of different things. In the sense, the biggest lesson for me is always look at the greater good. That's one of the takeaways for me from Captain America himself. So in that way, I've applied this in my life and it's brought about a lot of change. So obviously fandoms affect you a lot. And yeah.
Also another thing that I really like about Marvel is, not each movie, but they try to experiment a lot around the theme of the movie, like uh, movies like The Winter Soldier, which I feel is one of the best MCU movies, that highlighted the themes of um, conflict and politics and judging whether you're doing the right thing, and who to trust, who not to trust. So that
Exactly.
was
And there's not much of a superhero element in the Winter
Yeah.
Soldier.
Correct. You
It's
could
a
have
very
watched.
grounded, down to earth. Like anybody can do it if you have the righteous mindset. I mean, obviously, all the
Yeah.
carrier and all those things were a little
But
science
that was
fiction,
Marvel
but
stuff. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So, and there was this one line in Winter Soldier which I really like, which is the price of freedom has always been high. It has never come at a easy cost. So that line was really good. And also, like, through what I mean by different themes is, Black Panther pushed on the theme of you know inclusive and making like an all black film, and things like that. So yeah. So what others? So yeah, I could talk about a franchise that we all have heard, which is Harry Potter. I think those Harry Potter films came out when we were young. So
Exactly. It's like we've grown with the films.
correct. So like when
I actually wouldn't know about it because I've recently started watching it.
I mean, it's okay. I mean,
Yeah,
we're all
left.
This is how we spread the fandom.
Yeah, so
correct.
I do really like the series. It's really good, Yeah, it's like our friend group itself, Vaishnavi and Harsha made me, start watch the series and all. And I'm in love with the series and all those twists and suspenses which keeps us hooked onto them. It's like I just finished watching Deathly Hallows Part 1 yesterday. So it was around midnight, 2 or 3. I wanted to watch the Part 2 itself, but then it was pretty late.
You have to finish it today only.
Yeah, I'm very
so yeah,
eager to watch it.
So yeah, about Harry Potter, I feel like we've grown up with Harry Potter. The stuff that J.K. Rowling has written was obviously the baseline for the movies, but the movies also, like those who don't read books, for example me, the movies were amazing. So I feel like we've grown up with Harry Potter. Each and every year has signified a growth phase, sort of, in the three lives of Harry, Hermione, and Ron Weasley. So the first two movies were about going to school and learning about your responsibilities and rules and stuff, and the themes of house culture. I feel like Harry Potter really did that part really good with their 4 houses. It's like
exactly. Even our schools also had like divisions of different houses.
Yes,
so we would also
the division process wasn't something that we agreed on, but yeah, it's okay. It was really cool to see a visiting hat sort you in a house based on your personality, and so that you get allotted into a group with similar personalities. That was really
exactly, and they've expanded on that. Like you can go and find out which house you are, which house you belong to.
Correct.
Like
so
online, you can find out what your Patronus charm is.
Yeah,
actually,
that's also good.
I actually went to the website before watching those movies. So I guess apparently I'm Slytherin.
Oh, I'm a Ravenclaw.
I'm from Gryffindor.
Harsha is Gryffindor.
Smart.
I don't know. I don't remember currently, but yeah, what I mean to say is all these little details is why I love Harry Potter so much. Yeah. What else about Harry Potter?
I mean, And apart from the storyline and suspense, also the cinematography of the movies, the locations they shoot in, the graphics and all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've seen each Harry Potter movie like all like properly, like when it was released, or at least like I've caught up to it once I got interest. I think since the Goblet of Fire, I've been watching it properly. But before that, I didn't know about it, and I watched all the movies till Goblet of Fire like at once. So I've kept in touch with Harry Potter a lot, and then I've got delved into the world of Fantastic Beasts as well, and that led me to research on Harry Potter on different websites and all.
Yeah, there was like
So
this
you get to know
little-
more about like Albus Dumbledore and his past,
correct.
and how he's related to Grindelwald. It's a
Correct.
huge universe, because I can't speak for the people who read the books, but I'm at least on the side of the movie fandom.
Correct. So
Everything I know is from the movies, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah. So I remember there was this one line mentioned in Deathly Hallows Part 1 that the Elder Wand was taken from a wizard named Grindelwald, and
Exactly, and they show a small clip of a small,
Correct.
like a young guy just
Correct.
running out a window.
correct. So it's it's crazy to imagine that that one line has a whole backstory behind that, and Fantastic Beasts deal with Hogwarts wizards, or which is primarily based in UK, coming to US and dealing with things there.
I'm excited for the third part of Fantastic Beasts.
Mm.
And
So
who
yeah.
hasn't wanted an Elder Wand?
Yeah.
Or the Cloak of Invisibility?
Yeah, it'll be really
Amazing
to get them.
favorite.
So yeah, which what's next?
We could talk about some sport teams.
Yeah, we could surely talk about that. So yeah, so coming back to the sports teams, I feel like in sports you're primarily as a viewer, but sports is also a form of media, in the sense that it's not a scripted story. It's something that you're witnessing it on screen, and like sometimes I'm sure that we've all come across some crazy moments in sports, like India winning at the GABA, or Leicester City winning Premier League against all odds. So to talk about sports, I feel like I'm a massive supporter of RCB, and I know a lot of people won't agree with me because we haven't won trophies, but the reason why I love this club is the trophies aren't the reason for that. We have the same number of fans as the other top teams like Mumbai and Chennai, but and that's without the trophies. In sports, there's this crazy linear diagram, which is the more you win, the more fans you get. But we already have that many fans in spite of the trophies. So I feel like that is something, the brand of cricket that they play isn't conventional. It's always been aggressive and something unique. I could talk about Chris Gale's 175 not out, which is unprecedented in the history of T20, or about
We can go on and on about RCB, but no matter how much we love RCB, we've always.
I mean, out of all the teams, I guess RCB's fandom is like the most, highest number, or the true supporters of RCB, you could say.
Yeah, no matter how much we fail,
like we still support. There is still hope that our team is better.
Yeah,
if you're an RCB supporter, you know what optimism is. Every year we come up with one statement, that is Isala Cup Namde. No matter we win it, we don't win it, doesn't matter. But RCB represents the epitome of optimism.
Absolutely. So RCB has taught me a great lesson in optimism. Got to say that. But the point I'm trying to make is that the brand of cricket that they play is certainly I wouldn't say outrageous, but aggressive that you don't see in other cricket clubs. Chennai and Mumbai, they just stick to the basics, which is, I mean, Chennai, the brand of cricket that Chennai plays, just nothing. It's just Dhoni brand of cricket. Just get 11 players, Dhoni will get the best out of them, and that's simple. So that's about Chennai. And Mumbai is, they're really good at scouting Indian talent, and that's what's
Try to
playing
make some
them.
enemies, huh?
No, I mean,
He's ready to start
when
a
you
war.
say you're an RCB fan, you make automatic enemies and you get those trolls anyway, so it's fine.
That
But yeah,
is a downside of fandoms, that
Yeah.
there is a lot of fights,
Rivalry
between fandoms.
it's rivalry between clubs. It's not exactly like, oh, I don't like you and all, but
But
I
yeah,
feel like,
a certain amount of healthy rivalry is always good. Shouldn't be
Yeah.
aggressive.
yeah. So yeah, uh, it's crazy.
I mean, IPL was started, for entertainment of people, the 20 overs. And I guess there's no other team other than RCB which provides the most entertainment for, all its fans, and not only its
Correct,
fans,
and-
even the rivals.
and correct. And how can I not talk about one thing that has defined RCB over the past decade, which is if you're a cricket fan, you always have a dream that uh, when can I see the best players playing in a team together, and we've got that for the past decade in the form of Kohli and AB de Villiers, and knowing
Exactly.
that
The best duo. Definitely the best duo.
and then knowing that they play for the same jersey as you, which is the red jersey, and there's something about the red jersey throughout um, global sports, be it Liverpool and United in England, or be Ferrari in the world of motorsport. So red teams have always had the best fan base. So yeah, we could talk about something else now. So yeah, we could talk about football now, Harsha.
Yeah, sure, Palav. So my favorite football club in this world is Manchester United. I'm a huge Manchester United fan. I've been following football since I was in 8th grade. And one of the first teams that I actually saw play a proper football game was Manchester United. And my curiosity grew from there, and I went on the internet, researched about Manchester United, saw some of their clips, some of the players who played for Manchester United, and you could see the whole legacy of the club. It was incredible to me, and I was a fan immediately. And Man United is a team that I've stuck through all thick and thin. It's a fantastic club. It's regarded as one of the best clubs in this world, and I follow United everywhere. I love United so much. And the thing about United as a club is recently they've not been performing that great. So during these tough times is when you kind of learn a life lesson that when you really love something, you stick through all thin and thick. So that's one thing that I've learned about. I mean, that I've learned in life through football, and I do play football as well. So it's great to see when a club like Manchester United hosts some of the best players in the world. For example, right now they signed Cristiano Ronaldo, who I regard is the best player of all time. It's a controversial statement, but it is what it is.
I feel like the thing with United is that as like it sort of coincided with the right with viewership of football in India as well. Like we started watching football when Sir Alex Ferguson was at the helm, and what he did with the club is of course very legendary, and because when the team does well, you naturally gain a lot of follows, right? So I feel like that era of Alex Ferguson was combined with the growth in India was has given rise to such a massive fan base. Correct, Harsha?
I agree. Or not only that, like for example, one of the current Manchester United players called Marcus Rashford, right? He was recently awarded an MBE from the United Kingdom government. He's done some fantastic work, and through football, he's gained a lot of popularity for um, hunger, right? I mean, in a sense, there UK has a huge problem where a lot of people don't get food, and he's been able to solve this problem through football, and it's a huge deal. Apart from just being a sport and being a form of entertainment, it's also becoming something that influences the neighborhoods where the clubs are located, right? It's a huge thing for a local lad to be representing his local football club and to be impacting the world in such a great way. I mean, it's fantastic. And this is possible only through having such a big fan base all over the world. No other club, I think, has such a big fan base.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't matter if the club is performing or not. If it doesn't matter if you're on top of the table or we're at the bottom, it doesn't matter. Manchester United will always have its fans, and Manchester United will always be supported by and loved by the people.
Yeah. All right. So, that was great about Manchester United. So, personally, I admire Manchester United a lot. But personally, I'm a big fan of Chelsea. There's something about London that I really like over Manchester. Uh, Probably because of our British past, but London as a city, I feel like it's I sort of like it. It's got some iconic locations which I really want to see someday. They've got Wembley Arena, which is like the home of some of the great concerts. It's got Wimbledon, which is the home of tennis. Then it has Lords, which is the home of cricket. So I feel like if I was to support a football club, it would be around, it would be based on London. So, I really like, Chelsea and the brand of football that they play. And, quite rightfully so, they are the pride of London. So, moving on, there was a crazy F1 season last year. So, we could talk about that. So, Harsha, what are your views on which fandom or which team do you support in F1?
I'm a huge Mercedes fan. Yeah, it's everyone's gonna be like, yeah, glory, whatever. But yeah, I'm a huge Mercedes fan. I am a Mercedes fan because I'm a huge fan of Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton as a person is an extraordinary human being. He's not only in the F1 field, but also he's in the fashion industry. He's doing a lot of charities, and as a human being, he's the utmost professional athlete or a sports person I've ever seen. Right, the best example of that was after the final race in Abu Dhabi at the season end last season. It was fantastic. It was in so many ways it was not in his favor, but still after the race he was so sportive. He went and congratulated Max after the race. It's so good to be seeing such people exist, and it's such a great example for the newer generations, right? It's important to be successful, but also enjoy other people's success, right? And Lewis Hamilton has shown that in the most professional way possible.
Yeah, I feel like.
And
I feel like
argue about the last race in. Yeah,
it is a controversial topic.
It is a controversial topic. You can't really say who was right here. It is not the teams, but it's actually you could blame FIA for that. So in my opinion, it was not like it was unfair to Hamilton or it was unfair to Max in a that's all.
Yeah, I feel like Lewis obviously is statistically the greatest of all time, but I feel like he's an even better person than he's an F1 driver, and that's saying something, because coming from non a poor background, and making it to a sport that is so finance and money intensive, and the struggles that he had to go through to make it big in karting at young age, then to grow up and not just be another Formula 1 driver, but to be the greatest of all time. and he does a lot of activism also around racism and other issues around the world. So he's absolutely an icon.
Yeah, I agree. Lewis Hamilton is an example, right? He set the bar so high. It's tough for a few of the athletes or sportsmen to stay at that level. F1 as a sport is considered as a rich man's sport, right?
Niche.
It's very niche, yes. And recently, after this series on Netflix called Drive to Survive came out, the huge fan base of F1 grew exponentially. If you have watched Drive to Survive, there is no way that you can hate F1. The whole intensity, the drama, everything that goes in the back end of a simple race is so extraordinary, and so much of hard work. It's a combined effort of, I'd say, thousands and thousands of people, so much of science where every little thing about the F1 car is calibrated and well thought of and designed to perform at the highest level possible. So F1 is not just a racing sport, but is a complete package.
Yeah. Also, when we're talking about F1, sure, there are other teams like McLaren, Aston Martin that have a lot of fan base as well. But we cannot not talk about F1 and not we cannot talk about F1 and not talk about Ferrari. That team itself is like a brainchild of its founder Enzo Ferrari. And that whole team can be summed up by this one statement by Enzo Ferrari, which is, okay, the statement is aerodynamics are for the poor, but engines is what wins you championship. So I feel like that whole philosophy is what drives Ferrari, and it has the biggest fan base in F1.
I mean, staying stuck in that, like with that philosophy in the current situation, I don't think is the right thing right now.
Okay.
Because you know how many changes every year there have been in F1, and engines are not only the ones that can win your races.
Yeah.
And Mercedes is the perfect example of that. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they have done so much technological advancements in, like, from the Mercedes team itself. And there were many situations where other teams tried to copy them, or try to cancel those advancements, so that because they are not able to reach that level and all. So there is a lot of
I feel,
in my view,
continue.
In my view, Ferrari shows that just because you come with a legacy of having some of the best drivers F1 has ever seen does not guarantee you success in the present. I could say about that with Ferrari and Manchester United, right? Because they show us that being stuck with certain statements, right, is not going to lead you to any sort of progress. You've got to make efforts in every end possible, and Mercedes has done that to the best extent possible. And that's why if you look at the past 9 years in F1, 8 championships belong to Mercedes, right?
Yeah.
And that is a statement in itself. There is a saying that winners don't come because of high performance, but it's because of consistency. And Mercedes has been super consistent over the years.
Yeah.
And that's where Ferrari has lacked. They have had few excellent seasons, really great races, really great drivers in the past few years, but they don't exactly showcase the result that they expect.
Yeah, fair. So yeah, I think we can cover one more fandom before we can close this episode. So Piyush, what do you want to talk
Let's
about?
talk about video games.
esports.
Yeah, sure.
Video games also have huge fan bases like Call of Duty, Battlefield, GTA, Counter-Strike,
is such a
and
massive
lately Valorant,
League of Legends,
Halo. So
Yes.
yeah, there's a lot of fan bases. But yeah, lately what's brought us all together in the lockdown and in recent times is Valorant.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the game which released during in the pandemic.
Correct. It
time,
released
and
in
everybody
July
started
of
trying it.
2020, I think.
Yeah, around June 2020 or something.
Mm.
So everybody, started trying it out, and how new experience is it compared to the Counter-Strike and all the other games. So, and I guess we all together started playing it from that time itself when it released.
I actually tried it during the beta stage, but me coming from like really good looking graphics in Call of Duty felt Valorant very plasticky and kiddish because of its art design. But then lately, I've played Valorant so much, it's become like normal for me to see Valorant's art. And oh my God, how much Valorant has improved, and the fan base has grown, and the fan arts. And it's like, it's become a big community now in such a short time. And really hoping for a Valorant Netflix show. Please make it happen. Like
why
Arcane.
not a Valorant cinematic universe?
Sure, no problem.
I mean, I guess they still have to introduce a lot of characters before doing that, I guess.
I feel like they have enough characters. I think they're just waiting for Disney to acquire, Valorant on the movie side, and that'll be great. We could have a section on Disney Plus, like, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and now Valorant. It'll be great.
Exactly.
And we also enjoyed it a lot while playing the game, I guess. We had so many fun times, few irritating times, or, stressful situations.
Lot of
times.
rage moments.
Yes,
So many clutch rounds.
especially when the person to your left plays.
Mr. Harsha.
I mean, it's all fun and nice. Valorant has brought us all together as a group. We've all started hanging out in the name of Valorant every day, which is fun. And also, it's sort of like a group activity where all of us have to like communicate in a right way and also showcase our skills, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's helped us in team building and also in communication. And sometimes we just talk about random stuff and have fun while playing. We don't even play the game.
Yeah,
We'll just be running around in game talking about stuff, making fun of each other.
Yeah.
And remember those random matchmaking where, we start talking in team chat and
Exactly. The arguments with the enemy team.
Enemy team in the comment.
Yeah. I feel like, that's
Kind of become like a routine for us nowadays. Every day we actually play every day. And you, Pallav, reminds us every day.
Exactly.
Pallav is like
Our captain, our leader,
Yeah,
Pallav.
reminding us to,
There was a time when Pallav didn't want to play Valorant because he thought it was too stressful and hectic.
and he was scared of Vishnu.
And he was scared of Vishnu.
Yeah, so for the folks who don't know, so Vishnu is like this really legend when it comes to shooting games. And he's been on the episode a few times. So to talk about the captain aspect that you said, I feel like the character that I play usually is called Brimstone, and he's sort of been like the leader of the group, and I feel like that's sort of my role in our common WhatsApp group as well. So it's really nice to share that and learn some of Brimstone's qualities. So
Exactly. This is a classic example of us trying to portray our virtual character in real life. Try to learn their good points, improve on their bad points.
Yeah. All right. So anything else to add, Piyush?
I forgot to say one thing when we were talking about Harry Potter, but I regard, according to me, Harry Potter is the best book adaptation that has ever been done. It's a proper, I'm only talking about the Harry Potter movies, the 8 Harry Potter movies. So that's the best book adaptation. I know there'll be a lot of J.R.R. Tolkien fans who won't agree with me, but it's just my opinion that Harry Potter is the best book adaptation in movies.
Sure. Harsha and Jayanth, anything else to add?
No, I guess it pretty much. Yeah, I guess this pretty much sums it up. And I really had fun today talking about all the different fandoms and
Mm.
all our different views on different movies and
Mm.
universes. It
Yeah.
was really fun.
Yeah.
And it was a great time. I love talking to all of you. It's always been a pleasure hanging out with you all. And I had a great time talking today, Pallav. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was great having you on. All right, then we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. I shall see you guys in the next one.